Ladies and gentlemen, well, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on the late one in review, where we look at what's your news, what is your news, what are you going to be talking about, and we're just going to have a conversation again on a Thursday night, Thursday the first of night. Uh, it's a beautiful song that it goes by September Morn, and the song is by Neil Diamond. I like to sing that song a lot. September Morn, I won't sing it because I don't want everybody to run away. But it's September, and it's September, October, November, December. We're getting down there to the cold period. But one of the things that the cold period will bring is what the scammers talk about. And the scammers, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about the oil companies. These oil companies say the cost of oil and energy is going to be going up, 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 up. And one of the big scammers actually today said it's going to be a terrible and perilous time for persons. And you wonder why at the same time is the nation or the government is being asked to bail out things where it is the oil companies who are making so much profit. But hey, did I go too far? I think I went too far. Let me just bring Gary straight into it. Gary, how are you?
Hey, it's good to know that we can connect with you today.
Yes.
Wonderful to be on your show. I missed last week. I
Yes.
wasn't able to connect last week.
Yes. Because he had important engagement. I mean, I'm surprised it was important. I thought this was more important, but hey, what can I say?
I think last week I was very tired last week, but then it was, I think we were in London.
Yes.
Yeah, we were preparing to go to London because it's one of my wife's cousins was not well or
Yes.
had died.
Oh
So
wow, sorry to hear that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't make it.
The interesting thing is that today is what we call September morn. It's a new day, new month. What should I say? I see people all the while say happy month, and in light of what is happening coming up very soon in the next uh, when it gets cold, it's going to be one of the top guys who makes a lot of money. I forget which one of them said it's going to be perilous times for persons in regards to energy for your gas and electric. It is still something which is um, pending as a pressing and a very dis concerning. That's the right word, you know. And I believe that people need to really keep their focus on somehow holding the powers to be responsible. How do you think people can hold the powers that be responsible and those energy companies responsible?
Um, how can we hold them to account? I don't know if we can. I mean, I think that the people have entrusted the government to do the bidding, to do their bidding, to do what is right for the people. Yes, because when you look at the head of state, for instance, just for argument's sake, the prime minister, he has been elected by the people to represent the people wherever he needs to be. For instance, we all can't go to the United States if we want to talk.
Yes,
We have
yes,
elected the prime minister. If we want someone to represent the government in Asia or in Europe or in Australia or wherever, then the prime minister is there. If he can't do it, that's why we have ambassadors.
yes,
Because the ambassador then speaks on behalf of the government, which in turn represents the people because the people have them there.
yes,
So if the government can't hold to account the companies, i.e., the the utility companies that are making all this money, if they can't hold them to account, then what can we do?
yes,
Really, what can the population do? Now, what the government should be doing or should try to do is not um take the foot off the gas where they're concerned. I think that yes, if they're making all of this money when when there's a period of austerity taking place. We've
Mm.
got people who are losing jobs. We've got people who have to close businesses because of the increase of utility bills alone. There, so and these companies are then making money on the back of these people.
Mm.
So, well, on the back of people and companies. So they're making money. They're making a million, 2 million pounds in a relatively short amount of
Period of
time
time.
than
Yes.
they would in previous years. Then they should be taxed. No, I'm not saying that you must tax them out of existence. No, but they have something called the windfall tax. Is
Windfall
that
tax.
right? Tax them. Tax these companies because they've been set up to help the to service the population.
It's interesting though what Liz said. Liz, the potential prime minister, Liz Truss, alluded to the fact that she won't be putting pressure for any more windfall tax. You know.
Yeah, I mean, listen again. Um, we we must not forget. Don't forget this. Let's say we've got two major political parties in this country.
Mm.
Forget the Liberal Democrats and the SNP and all of them other parties. Okay, and the Greens. Okay, they are there. They've always been there for a few years. But let's
Mm.
just say we've got two major parties. We've got the Conservative Party and we have the Labour Party. What Liz Trust has declared is nothing new to anybody in regards to the policies of the Conservative Party.
Yes.
They've always said less government, less red tape. The Conservative Party, like the Republican Party, is not one to tax business. They are the friends of business.
Yes.
So for Liz Truss to come out and say that she's not in favor of the windfall tax, okay, forget about the time we're in. She is okay to say that because that is, to some extent, I'm not, to some extent, that is that is one policy of the Conservative Party. But
Well,
bearing
so
in mind,
mm,
but bearing in mind now, still, because we're in a time of austerity and things are not what anybody wants it to be, I think that the Conservative Party should be, in my mind, should be a little bit more giving. They,
yeah.
they, they need to look at the time because if they continue the way they're going, yeah, they may lose the next generation, whichever, whenever that's going to happen. The Labour Party, in my mind, is not for less government
Yeah.
and is not for less taxes either. Anytime the Labour Party has gone in and we see that, let us say, even though it's across the pond, but with the Democratic Party, they are very much to spend. They will spend, but they will say increase tax because they
Yes.
want to spend. They want to try and address all of the social misdemeanors that's out there in society. They want to see what they can do to accommodate every and anybody. Anything, man, anything that move on two legs, right? They want to
Well,
see they
yeah.
can address the social um, area.
Well, what I saw one of the last hustings. I think it was yesterday. Was the last one with Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak got a very overwhelming response, I must say. But of course, that doesn't mean anything because that's not what wins. It is actually the persons who vote. There's a view that Liz Truss is going to win. Um, to the point that Nick Ferrari, when I was speaking to her, was asking her would she take down some of the things like the wallpaper and all those things at number 10. And Rishi Sunak was more talking about we all need to come together after the election of the conservative leader. One is sounding like they are conceding defeat, according to some pundits, and one is already talking about changing up or determining how number 10 is going to be. So it's like it's a foregone conclusion that Liz Truss is going to win, to the point that she talks about rule out introducing new taxes if she becomes the UK next prime minister. She also spoke about that the 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 the, the speed limit to be scrapped or something like that. Different things they're talking about. But I do understand why it is sometimes difficult for them to nail their mast at this point during this leadership contest, whereby some people are even saying that what they should really do is to somehow had before come together and somehow have some sort of agreed position and then use the personalities to sway. Because what is going to happen is that the Labour Party is going to be using all of their tactic, or they're ripping each other apart for how they're going to challenge them in the possibility of the next election. And the next election could be called. Am I? I'm getting a feed. Is it my feedback or your feedback, Gary? I don't know. Yeah. The next
I
election
don't know. I'm
could be called. Yeah. I don't know what is happening there. That's okay. The next election could be called anytime after this election, because Labour is going to push for it. You know, I'm going to stop there for a second and let you speak, Gary, because I don't know if I'm getting the feedback. Gary?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
You're frozen. Your screen looks frozen, but keep talking now. Let me see if it will come in. Let me just do a refresh there,
okay.
and uh, and then you, Gary.
Yeah, I am.
I
I
Your
don't know
screen is
what's
out.
going on here, but
Yeah, I can hear you though.
I agree with you that I think that are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Somehow your
Let me
image
drop
your
it back
image is
down a bit.
gone. But I can hear you clearly, and I can hear in the background. Yeah,
All right. I don't know
you're
if
back
I
now.
am live
Yeah, you're
or
alive.
if I'm
You're
dead.
alive. Can you see me? I can see you clearly. I can
Are you there
see you.
still?
Yes, I can see you. I can hear you.
Okay, I think something is.
Let me see
Okay,
something.
are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, okay. I couldn't see myself either. I don't know what was going on.
Can you see? Are you there now? Can you see us?
I can see you. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, good.
All right, all right.
Yeah. So you're saying now, based on what I sort of allude to, I'm looking at the YouTube also, and it can be clear here.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. So I don't. Yeah. You were saying about Liz Truss and the Hoskins, and you're listening to the last one.
Yes, yes, and you could see that it is coming across as if Liz Truss has more than likely won. But some persons who are supporters of Rishi, they are saying it's not over till it's over. And I must say, Rishi Sunak does come across very buoyant, and he's got a massive sort of appeal. He's got that appeal at the same time that excites. He can excite the crowd. That's one thing. He can excite the crowd. So therefore, Liz Truss would need to keep him very close in any once she's with, and also for Rishi Sunak should keep Liz very close as well. As a matter of fact, they should bring in all the persons. Because one thing about the Conservative Party, which has been seen, is that based on all the fact that they have actually brought all these players in, it shows that they have a broad church of persons who somehow are ready or preparing themselves for leadership. How does that translate into the oil crisis and the energy crisis? Is what many people are talking about, because they are not giving anything concrete about that.
In what regards? I mean, you lost me there. I mean, you
No,
think go on.
no. When I say they're not giving, you're not get okay. What we're not getting, Gary, and this is also happening even with the Labour Party. No one is actually coming out very strongly to deal with and to address the major oil crisis, the high cost of living. It's like they're waiting for something to happen, waiting for a major crisis to happen, waiting for people to die of heating, to die of lack of eating or having food, for there to say, we've got to stop this. Governments can stop things. Okay, we're in a market driven economy at the same time, but it is unprecedented. And because it's unprecedented, something must give. And what people are saying is that no one is demonstrating that. Even the Labour Party, they are now preparing themselves once the election is over for the leadership to push for a general election. And then that lady named Brenda from Bristol, she's going to scream, I hope she's still alive, and say, not again, another election. And all you're seeing is a cycle of persons on a power trip and not actually addressing the felt need of the people at this time.
Well, I would agree with you.
Mm.
Something is afoot. Something is up. And what is up or what's in the air? We just don't know. We just don't know. The government, I believe, is aware of um, of what is in the air to happen. If you notice, since the Huskins have been taking place, and even up until the point where Mr. Johnson, I think he gave his last public address today. He was in Suffolk area,
Who is that?
Sizewell, Boris.
Oh, Boris. They
Yeah.
say he's coming back, He's a comeback kid. He's planning to come back.
Well, the thing about it, I mean, if you noticed, the government really has said very little because they're all saying, if you noticed, that especially the chancellor, the new chancellor there, he's saying that when the new prime minister comes in, then or the new leader comes in, they are going to he's going to be announcing. They don't want to say anything.
Yes.
At least if I using my term, they don't want to say anything to snooker the incoming
Yes.
leader,
Yes. Yes.
and so the government has said very very little.
Mm.
In fact, I've even heard it to be said that England really has no government, no governing authority. Can you imagine that anything could happen now? There's no government. For
Yes.
instance, if now look at it like this, Silbert, right? And I'm
Yes.
really throwing caution to the wind here. If Russia, if Putin should have a case of dementia right now, and to the UK, who's going to speak on behalf of the UK? I mean, they would have to they would have to cancel the leadership elections because we don't have a government. We have a government in
Yeah.
name only, but we don't have a government in action.
So what you're saying is
And
that
that
mm, so at this moment the UK is like a rudderless ship.
it is.
Mm.
It
Well,
is.
many people have been talking about the fact that this whole thing shouldn't have lasted so long. There should have actually be a coronation, a coronation in some respect. But that's a dampener on what we call democracy. At the same time, I believe that as I was having a discussion earlier, a discussion on my page, where someone was saying that um, all prime ministers of Jamaica have never been elected by the people. and he was very adamant, and that was Leicester. But the point Leicester was actually raising was that you don't go and vote for a prime minister, the people. You vote for your members of parliament. And after you vote for your members of parliament, um, when that party went and put themselves forward as a viable government with their prospective members of parliament, then whosoever win and with the majority of seats by default, that leader becomes the prime minister. All right. What I'm actually trying to say is that at the end of the day, the UK still have a government that can still work. And the only and you're right, the only constraint that they have is the fact that they have been given this sort of agreement or this understanding by the outgoing prime minister, which is Boris Johnson, that his government at this present moment will not be putting forth any major new policies or anything that will constrain or set a precedent upon the new incoming leader. Right. So we got a few days to go, and then it is hoped that things will sort of move full speed ahead. Do you think things will move full speed ahead? Do people believe that things will move full speed ahead at this time?
I mean, with the new leader in place,
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I think things will be hindered a bit. I mean, you know, the prime minister will have to set his stall out. He's going to have to say what his policies are. You
Him.
know,
He. Do you say he?
he or she, he
Oh, I
or
just
she.
clarify. I don't know if you have the prophet prophetic insight.
No, um, no. I mean, they'll have to put their stall out there. The people will have to buy into them, into them. It's not going to be easy at all. It's not going to be an easy ride.
Yeah.
When you look, just look and see what's happening in Europe right now. I mean, Europe, we are not all getting the news as we used to where Europe is concerned. But Europe is in a mess.
Mm,
Europe is in a mess. Now England is just the United Kingdom is just an island out across the waters from France. It's not very far at all.
mm.
And if Europe is in a problem, if Europe is in a mess, then what do you think England is in? England can't come out of this problem, and the rest of the world stays in it. I mean, it that is just complete rubbish, Silver.
Yes, yes. It, it it is very interesting though that before Brexit and while the UK was in Europe, we're hearing so much about Europe, mainland Europe. We're hearing things about France, Germany. Nothing now. Well, it depends on where you're looking, but at the same time, things were in our face. That's what I'm trying to say. Things were in our face. They are not in our face now. Yeah, Gary?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
what?
they're not in our face. You're not hearing anything coming up. Sometimes, okay, if I want to find out what's going on in Germany or France, I can search and find out what's going on in Germany and France. I can find it.
Right,
I just
right.
Google and everything and look for what is Macron doing now, what are those guys are doing now, what is the new chancellor doing now. I mean, recently Putin just said he's not going to go to Gorbachev funeral. I don't know why. One can find out about those things. One can find out about all, but before things were coming in our face, you didn't have to look too far. You could hear what's going on in Europe, because Brexit was there. Brexit was there. The world is becoming a bit flat face. I don't know if that word is it now. Flat face. Flat face.
But you see, I don't know if anybody has noticed or if I'm just deep into this, but you see, different now. Things are much different now because when we were a part of Europe, you
Yeah,
didn't have to Google anything.
yeah.
That
Exactly.
that's
That's the
what I'm
point.
saying, right? we didn't have to Google anything at all because everything was in our face all the time, every
Yeah.
day, every minute of
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
Now, now we're not hearing as much as we used to where Europe is concerned because we're not in the middle of things.
Mm.
So France, Germany, Spain, Italy, and all the 20 odd plus
Yeah.
members of the European Union, they are in a mess.
Yeah.
One, of the war, and two, the heating situation. And I think that if England, right, if we follow our leaders by saying that they're the one that's going to take us out of this problem, that is rubbish.
You think they're
Because,
gonna take? You think they're gonna take us more inside of it?
well, they can't help it. They can't do a thing either to take us out or move us to the left or to the right
Yeah.
because um you know it's out of their control. They can't control this thing.
Well, Leicester just came on a while ago and said you guys can move to the Netherlands or Germany or even Luxembourg.
Well,
let me let me send him an invite to see if he wants to tell us what is so very special about Netherlands, Luxembourg, and those places there because
yeah.
you know it's like what should I say? It's like a shutdown.
Well, I mean, I've heard and I've read something on the net. I don't know if Lester can enlighten me, or if you, Sylbourne, can say anything into this. But I did hear that prices in Germany is going to plummet. Now, does that mean that the prices for the residents of Germany, their prices are going to go down?
Mm.
Because if that is the case, then we need to know why aren't the prices for the UK going down?
Well, this is the thing, and even one country I heard absorb some prices or cut off some massive tax off their petrol, and the people are benefiting from that. You see, listen, if there's a will, there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way. Bankruptcy of the will fuel lackluster and create chaos. If government don't want to do something, they can do something if they want to do something, Gary.
Yes, they
That
can. Now, I'm a bit shocked. I'm shocked. I don't think that the United Kingdom spent as much money as Germany did, or even France did, by way of the furlough schemes. I don't
yeah,
think they did, right? And I can't see why the energy companies here, they have to be we or the well prices have to be going up by 400%
mm,
when the German prices are just percent,
yes,
or it could be even be less. And then also they were on furlough schemes.
yes.
So why? What on earth is the UK government doing? What on earth have they been doing?
Well, let's call the
I
prime
can't
minister.
see.
Let's see if the prime minister of Jamaica can give us an answer to this.
Oh, it's not to have the right honorable Lester Percival.
Let's the Percival Brogard.
Yeah.
yes. Um,
How you doing?
yeah, I'm well. I'm well. I'm well. I won't stay long, but you're right. The prices in Holland, Netherlands, and Belgium are going down, and they're stabilizing out.
Really?
The government here has rolled out some concession, some subsidy plan. Them always find some millions, to do these things.
Yeah.
As we spoke about Silburn, they always find some way to let us help ease the most vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know where they get this money from. I don't know how sustainable it is,
Mm.
but I've seen it even. yesterday in the supermarket, today in the supermarket, where many of the prices are reflecting the old figures of 2019, 2020.
And an energy chief warns. Let me just put this up. Energy crisis, if anything. An energy chief warns households across Britain will be hit by a winter like never before, with people going hungry and cold unless the government acts swiftly. Energy chief, let's say, energy chief. These are
Mm-hmm.
the guys that are making like £2 million a
Yeah,
year.
was a year, yeah.
Yeah, this is Stephen Fitzpatrick. Plea for bare bold action to help shield families. How can that? How, what are they talking about? Is it founder of Over Energy, company with 4.5 million customers? I'm trying to see how much money he makes. But but it seemed like they're of the view, and people of the view, that the government can do something.
Yeah.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, can the government do anything? Because right now everybody's striking.
But Sylbourne, haven't we seen in Jamaica in just this week that the Jamaica Labour Party has rolled out $2.2 billion in back to school subsidies?
16,000 children or 160,000?
160,000 children are benefited. So each child is entitled to 10,000. Um, one lady posted, and I posted it on my Facebook, that she got 61,000, just that one lady with her family, 61,000 Jamaican dollars for back to school subsidies.
Mm.
Other persons have gotten up to close to 80,000, 100,000 because of the number of children that they have.
Yeah.
So where was this money before?
I mean,
Portia said they find money.
do you think is that enough, Lester? Do you think that's enough money?
With Jamaica, it's never enough. With Jamaica, it's never enough.
Mm.
But 160,000, I mean, it is a start. You
Yeah.
know, it is a start. But and remember, the government don't really have a responsibility to take care of your children. They don't have that. It's not a must. So it's something that they're extending.
Right.
You know, but it's also a good gesture. But I think we need more sustainable actions from governments. You know.
Yes. Yes. Listen, I want to, before we go, Lester, Carnival. We're talking about Carnival because Carnival of recent days was massive, really. And they are now talking again about, moving Carnival away from, the Notting Hill Gate because there's a killing. There's one guy who got killed, and lots of police were recently hurt. I think a couple of police were sexually assaulted, lady police as
Hmm.
well. So there's major concerns about the carnival. You know.
Um, Silver, it is nothing new because
Yeah.
if we're to go as far back as to Woodstock, you know, and all these major carnivals and major festivals, these things always happen, you know. Not saying that the assault on anybody, whether male or female, is right,
Right.
but I mean these things happen in large gatherings like that. You know, they just have to be more proactive because this is how you put systems and measures in place next time because of these things that happen. You know, so they just have to be more proactive. And where they're going to move it to, you know, because the communities benefit from these things, you know.
Yeah. That is something which is normally not said. They normally put emphasis on the killing or well the negative bits, of course, which you have to. One guy die still is a
It's sad, yeah,
it's sad. But they don't sometimes talk about the benefit it has been to the community, the benefit to the UK. A lot of people actually look out for Carnival as much as possible. But trust me, I saw some pictures and saw some people squashed. You know, I mean, you
yeah.
would think, boy. I would like to be there, man. You know.
Yeah, that's why I avoid large gatherings. I've never been to Sting nor some fest.
You know, been this thing.
No, I don't like large gatherings.
Okay, okay. I would go there, but
Furthermore, I lived in Waterford, so I could stay on my roof and see over in Jamworld, and I could enjoy the show by hearing it.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah.
Gary, what's your take on the carnival and the recent killing of that young man
But
there?
gentlemen, I'm gonna dip out because I have marital duties.
Okay, all right, okay, okay, all right. I mean, Gary, you're married.
No, but
I am married.
yeah, but
But
the thing,
let's start at a high level then. Of
no,
course,
no,
let's
but
start at a high level of
no,
marriage.
no. We don't understand that at all, because you marry me, you marry, and we don't worry about marital duties. This man
No,
just
me,
married
me I just come married. Me I just good night, gentlemen.
All
Good
right,
night.
finish.
Yeah.
we talk to Vito about them marital duties.
Mother manners. Yeah. No,
You know?
the carnival thing there was very, a lot of people looking forward to the carnival from 2019. The COVID sort of hold it back. 2020, then 2021, and then 2022, and then you always have something always happen really, which is really sad, But people make the comparison to football matches and different events, which many things happen at times as well.
Yeah, right,
You know?
I think, I really think that I don't know. I'm up in Leeds here. The carnival was almost in our area. I had to drive through down a particular road, a side road or such. But
Mm,
I didn't really like the vibes to some
mm,
extent. Again, because the way how I think the whole heap of police van, and then you've got the guys. You see, I understand why the police have to do what they do, but at the same time, I think that they've got to be a bit. To me, I think they've got to be a little bit more wise. You know why? Because they know that the young guys, they look at these things and it kind of sets them off.
mm,
You understand? It sets them off, Sylbourne,
mm,
and that at times is what causes the problem. I know that they have to do things as a means of deterrent. They do these things as a means of deterrent, but at the same time, other than that, um, you know, I just think that something else has to be done. But I wouldn't go to a carnival myself because I
mm.
just don't feel. I don't feel safe.
There's a video I was trying to find, and but I can't seem to find it. But the video was really, it shows how people are really jam packed. I can see the video, but I can't seem to download it to get it show. People are so jam packed, really, like 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 sardine, you know. They're so jam packed there, and they were just crushed against each other. And I'm saying, why would I subject myself or put myself in that space, Against, let me see
Right.
if I don't know. I want to see if I want to see if I can actually show it. Let me see if I can actually show it. I think I got a glimpse here. Let me see if I can show this video here. It's coming up on a WhatsApp thing. It's not. Nope. 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 Can you see it? Yeah, there it is. Can you see something
Yes,
there?
yes, yes. I see it.
You can't see it again. It just
what what is it? What is it more or less showing?
No, they're just people are just crammed together.
Okay,
People
okay.
are just crammed together. Actually, I think I can show it maybe better on my phone. You should actually see there. I mean, when you look at it, it's really, 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 really so concerning. I don't know who would actually go there. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Let me
mm.
see if I my virgin that sent it to me, Andrew Allen. Actually, somebody from Jamaica. Somebody from Jamaica sent it to me. Actually,
Is it?
yeah. Look at that.
That's a lot of people there. You know.
Yeah,
And where is that? Down in London?
yeah. Nottingham Gate. Yeah.
Wow. So what happened there?
Just people got just on carnival.
But you can't move. I saw the in that.
Can't move. It's totally can't move, Gary. Totally can't move. You know, in regards to that. But listen, at the end of the day, people say they want to enjoy themselves. Life hard, so that's a way of maybe. Um, I don't know. I don't know. One of the things that you look at though is that I think there's a sort of silence in the world of late, you know, and you do when you look back, you can see some leaders of the past,
All right.
right? And leaders of the past is something which we talk about, like, for argument's sake, Putin, not Putin, um, Gorbachev, Reagan, Thatcher, those sort of guys. You're just not seeing that stream of persons again, and it's something that we spoke about a few times. Those clear caliber of leaders.
You see, you see, leadership, leadership. There is a slow erosion of true leadership. Now, I'm not saying that the leadership of Thatcher or Reagan or Gorbachev or going backwards were any better, let's say, than today, in
Yeah.
a sense that there was always something untowards of what was happening. Because a lot took place during their times of leadership.
Mm,
That if we found out, we would be up in arms. Really, we would really be up in arms. But it would seem that they were able to at least to face and to tackle some very difficult situations and times. I mean, Maggie Thatcher, who really who really people respected her. They
mm.
didn't necessarily like her or love her, but they respected her for the stance that she took by
Yes.
way of leadership. She really took the bull by the horns better than some
Mm,
men and did what she had to do or what needed to be done. But it wasn't necessarily so that they loved her or they liked her. No.
mm,
Some politicians loathed her. They just they hated her, really despised her. But yet, some of them would say that they respected her across the world. The
mm,
same with Ronald Reagan, the same with Mikhail Gorbachev, and with Bush Senior and such. So, leadership really. What what would we call the leadership of today? What would we call the leadership of today? You see, the leadership of yesterday again.
mm,
They experienced war. Still, some of them experienced war.
mm.
Some of them fought in war. So they knew what war was, how devastating war
Yeah.
was. They knew what war was all about and how devastating it was. So that that moved them. I mean, when you look at, the old leaders of Chirac, of France,
Mm.
and you know, um, the old leaders of his time in Italy and Spain and Germany, Kohl, and all of these big, heavy
Yeah.
hitters, you know, they when they sat around the table, they didn't want to go back to devastation anymore,
Yes.
and they tried their hardest to stay out of war. But the leaders of today, what experience have they got as far as fighting a war is concerned? None of them has ever been in a war situation. They
I
don't
think
know.
I think the only war is within their policies and their
Yes,
mates.
yes. I mean, the president of Russia right now, I think he's on a quest. He's on a quest to leave a legacy for himself, so
Well, yeah.
that others will see and will know who he was. But has
Yeah.
he fought a war? No. Has any of
Oh,
our
you
prime
mean
ministers?
Putin?
Putin, yeah. He
Yeah,
has never fought a war.
Putin was part of the KG, the
Yeah, but
equivalent to the.
he hasn't fought a war.
Okay, but it wasn't. I think that's okay. You're right about that, maybe. But
You
he
know,
looks like he's getting younger, isn't it? How does the buttocks and all those sort of things these guys are.
I mean, look at the Chancellor of Germany. Has he fought a war? No, he hasn't.
Uh, yeah,
Has
yeah.
look at Macron. Has he fought a war? No, he hasn't. He's a banker.
Mm,
He's a banker. His role and his war, so to speak, has been in finances. These guys don't have a clue what it is to fight a war and to fight out of a
mm,
war,
mm.
not to go back into a war. No, they don't know. And Liz Truss and even Sunak, have they ever been in a war? No, they haven't. They're our age, to tell you the truth,
Yeah.
and probably some of them is younger than us. So leadership, what vision do they have? What
Mm.
focus do they have, and will they bring to this country? They don't have anything to give to us, Silver. If
But
the truth be known, they don't have anything to lead us out of and to lead us to.
you're not expecting Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak to have war experience to be effective leaders. Is that what you're saying? Or you're saying that the quality?
Listen, I'm saying that our world, I think we've got to, in order to look, as they say, if this is the right place to say it,
Yeah.
um, in order to go forward, we have to look back. If we don't look back, then there's no future ahead of us.
Yes.
And sad to say that our world over the many generations have been built on war. It's been
Mm.
built on conflict.
Yeah.
It's been built on conflict. And the leaders, you go as far back as you can, any country, because I was at home evening and I was sitting down, I was watching a documentary, and the thought came to me, we in the West, and let us bring it more home to us here.
Mm.
We in the United Kingdom, we only know of the history and the campaigns that the British Empire has had to deal with because we're in England.
Mm.
Those in Europe now, in France, in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, in the Ukraine, in Bosnia or the old Yugoslavia, in Turkey, all of these countries, Netherlands, Germany, Luxembourg, all of these countries have their own separate histories. All of these countries have a history that we don't know nothing about still,
Mm.
right? We don't have a clue to some extent who were the reigning monarchs of their day. We don't have a clue how they were formed. We know that that boundaries were put in place because out of World War I and probably World War II, they boundaries were formed as such, like what they've done to Africa. But even before that, there is a history that these countries, these nations have that we don't have a clue about.
Yes, yes,
Now, from our perspective, all we can ever think about is the UK. All we can ever think about even is Jamaica. Jamaica has a history
yeah,
that British Empire or the British people, they don't know they don't know the history of Jamaica. They don't know the conflict that's happened over there over these many hundreds of years. They don't have a clue.
yes, 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 yes,
So
yes,
so there were leaders. There were leaders that have been formed out of those conflicts to lead their people because a vision was formed of how they were going to take their people out of the problems, out of the trouble, out of the captivity, whatever what was going on. That brought leadership to the top.
I would like to see a new president of the United States of America at some point. I look forward to see a new president of a new prime minister of the UK. I look forward to see there be some resolution or some resolve with Scotland, and to get things. It's united with united force is so crucial. Even God recognized the power of unity when they were building that Tower of Babel, and God confused them and gave them in different tongues, because God recognized the power of unity. And what is happening now? There's a clear need for unity. There's a clear need for the Labour Party to unite with the key stakeholders, all parties, to say, let's crack this beast, this energy crisis. A lot of people are going to feel it in the South. And it's not just the people that they keep saying is the less off, but even the well off are going to be impacted if something is not happening. And therefore, I cannot put down the guys who are demonstrating at this time. You know, if they have to bring the nation to the knees till something happens. I keep saying, until something happens of a drastic nature, but you don't have to wait for something happen of a drastic nature for there to be some sort of changes.
I mean, still well, the university lecturers they've opted to strike. You've got the the trains they're going to strike. You know,
Barristers.
the barristers are going to strike. The Royal Mail is talking about striking. I mean, this country is going to be brought to its knees. Something is going to happen, and I don't think that the government of our day they know what's coming. I won't even say that they don't know.
Yeah.
They know what's going to hit them, and I don't think they know exactly what to do.
Because even if Ukraine and Russia is at peace, it doesn't change the fundamental thing. Because Boris Johnson just recently said he has pledged 700 million for a new nuclear power plant on the Suffolk coast, with a call to go nuclear and go large and go with Sizwell C. Companies who are now actually saying that this is a different story. The electric cars, they say, is going to cost them so much.
Of course. Now, listen. I mean, I don't think they're going to have to scrap that.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're going to have to scrap that because look at the snow and the cold and all of that. You're going to tell me how is that going to happen in certain countries or even in certain areas of our country?
Yeah.
We already know what water does to battery. I mean, we already know what water does to electric. What's going to happen there when flooding takes place, right? I mean, electricity, even in the flooded areas, to me is worse than or just as bad as a car that uses petrol or diesel.
Yeah. I don't think it is thought out, Gary. I don't think it is thought out that much. Well, Gary, on that note, let's have a cracking end of the week. And Ladies and gentlemen, we will touch base again, and next week, Thursday, Saturday night, talk and sip. Tune in to the in review. Tune in to the walk and talk motivational moment. Tune in to Gary. Gary, you need to tell people about your program also, which you, I think you broadcast 3-4 times a day, isn't it?
No, well, I broadcast once a day. Just like giving a word of encouragement to anybody that cares to listen in this very, very difficult time in the lives of people. And I believe that whether we as human beings want to admit it or not, I do believe that we are all looking for help, for relief, and not only that for our own temporal state, but spiritually. I believe that we as men, and when I say men, I'm saying holistically now, mankind,
Yes.
that we're looking to God. We want God really to deliver us. We want God to help us. So it's only a way of connecting. And if you go into my Facebook page, Gary K. Graham, or to the YouTube channel which I have, same name, or into my Twitter feed of Preacher258. Preacher258 on my Twitter feed, you'll always find me between the hours of 11:30 and 2 o'clock. I try to at least go on there for at least 45 minutes to 60 minutes. But it could be
Sorry,
shorter.
the Twitter is what?
Preacher258.
Okay, I'm just putting up here. Twitter. Okay, Twitter
Yeah.
is
You got me there, Twitter?
yeah.
So if when you go to, if you have a Twitter account and you
Oh,
go
258. 258.
258, yes.
Yeah, I'm just change that there. Somebody going to, you need to get 259, because make sure nobody get 258. You need to get, secure,
Yeah, man. Yes, yes.
You got, is it Facebook only? Or
Facebook
YouTube?
and YouTube. It's
Gary?
Gary 2 R's K Graham Senior. So once you put that into your YouTube account or YouTube, then you'll always find what I've done. I've been doing it since lockdown every single day. Whatever day the Lord helps me to live and to see, I always want to be able to share something with someone.
Yeah.
And I hope to be a blessing and to be a source of help.
So that's it there. Facebook and YouTube, Gary K. Graham, Twitter, Preacher258.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm also gonna have. Sorry, Gary. Finish.
No, go ahead. No, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm gonna have on YouTube, on Facebook, actually Instagram, Monday at 8 p.m. I'm gonna have Julian Hall. He's from the Entrepreneurs. He's doing some ultra education. This is a guy that a good friend of mine, does a lot of training young children into business. So his ultra education is crowdfunding for you business fair at Wembley Stadium inside the Bobby Moore suit, 3rd of December 2022. He was one of my first guests on my show when I started my show in 2015. His daughter benefited from entrepreneurial, so I'm going to be talking to him on Instagram this Monday night at 8 p.m. Hey, Jovan. Yeah. So different stuff. I'm trying to still get an interview with the High Commissioner who was just leave and just resign. I step down. He's going back to Jamaica. That is.
When is he going?
Well, he's finished now. I'm trying to see if we can pin him down for something like that. And the Picker, which is a passport agency from Jamaica, are hoping to come to the UK. Birmingham and London. I'll give more information on that when that happens. A lot of people want to get their passports, but I'm just sensitizing it. We'll be giving more information out about that closer to the time. Once I get more, I think they're trying to get a venue in London and a venue in Birmingham, because Lots of people want to get their Jamaican passport and get their children citizenship as well. You can have dual citizenship.
So what about Leeds? They don't want to come to Leeds.
Well, that is where you come in now. So by me saying that now, I can say to them, I mentioned it just by chance, and somebody said Leeds. The other day, another guy mentioned it to him. He said, "So I'm to Manchester." So so by the time they decide to do it, they might have to do a 2 week road show.
Well, the thing about it, I mean, Manchester is only about 40 miles from here. It's not
40
very
miles
far.
from where? From where you are?
Yeah,
Yeah,
not far. It's not far. It's an hour. Just say it's an hour down the road.
yeah, yeah. Gary, listen, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. It was a pleasure, and keep the government on fire. September the 5th, there'll be a new prime minister. Who could it be? Could it be you? Could it me? Is it Boris Johnson? They say he's coming back. Is it Liz Truss or is it Rishi Sunak? Trust me, I can tell you this and take it to the bank. You can bet on this one. It is going to be, I'm going to tell you who it's going to be. It's going to be either Rishi or Liz. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. God bless you. Peace out. And next time, all the best. Cheers.